Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Well, Godzilla vs. Kong is approaching and a lot of people are writing off King Kong, saying that he has no chance in hell of winning, but these people are wrong. I mean, they'll probably be right about the movie itself, because the filmmakers are never going to have Godzilla lose in his own movie, especially when he's the star of the franchise. But just because Godzilla probably will win the fight, it doesn't mean that he should.
But Bandit, isn't this a ridiculous conversation to even have? Why even talk about the reasons why King Kong should win when that's completely impossible? After all, just look how much bigger Godzilla is. Look at that thick scale armor that Kong has no chance of getting through. Not to mention that he could barbecue King Kong in a fraction of a second with his atomic breath. Surely this entire conversation is utterly pointless.
Well, critical drinker inspired hypothetical commenter, the very same people who so quickly dismissed Kong for being outgunned in terms of his natural weapons and outclassed in terms of his size, they are convinced forgetting all of the times when Godzilla himself has been outclassed and outgunned by much larger, much better equipped enemies. The very fact that Godzilla can defeat opponents that are much bigger than him and much stronger than him demonstrates that in the Godzilla universe, it's not just about size and your arsenal of weapons. If it was, Godzilla himself would have been killed a long time ago. And if these people can make the case for Godzilla standing a chance against his larger opponents, how then can they turn around and say that King Kong would stand no chance against a bigger opponent? And by the way, I have already done a video on exactly how Kong could beat Godzilla. I'll leave a link at the end of the video if you want to watch it, but if not, here's a summary.
Kong can use his superior agility to dodge the atomic breath, effectively taking that out of the equation. We already saw King Ghidorah do that in the Godzilla sequel, so Kong can do it too. Kong has already demonstrated his intelligence in making and using weapons to penetrate thick scale armor, which he can use to wear Godzilla down, finishing him off by utilizing the same weakness that the MUTOs in the first movie capitalized on, spearing Godzilla through the neck via his gills. Game over, Godzilla loses.
Okay, now with that out of the way, here are my top 3 reasons why Godzilla deserves to lose against Kong. This showdown isn't just about which Titan is the best. It's about who is going to claim the title of King of the Monsters and be humanity's chief protector. So answer me this, who would you rather have as your protector? A prize fighter who is fit as a fiddle, or an over-the-hill has-been? The answer's obvious. In Skull Island, which was set back in the 70s, it was mentioned that Kong wasn't even full-grown yet. He was effectively an adolescent, but fast-forwarding to current day, he is now in his prime. He's big, he's strong, he's tough, and he's positively bursting with energy. Godzilla, on the other hand, he's old, he's pudgy, he spends half of his movies sleeping. He's like an old grandpa who needs to take a nap. He collapsed with exhaustion after the final battle in the first movie, and in the second movie he needed help from Mothra and a nuke to supercharge him in order to get the job done. Even then, with him being supercharged by the nuke, he still lost the fight to King Ghidorah, and Mothra had to sacrifice herself to heal him. While Kong on Skull Island, he had no one to help him. He got blown up by a lake filled with napalm, but he still came back and finished off the Skullcrawlers all by himself. Kong is just simply better qualified for the job of being humanity's protector. Godzilla might have been great back in his youth, but those days are long behind him. Everybody knows that Godzilla was created as a metaphor for the atomic bomb dropped on Japan by the United States during World War II. He represents the destruction not just from the explosion itself, but also from the radiation that has lasted for decades since. In the 2014 Godzilla reboot, the symbolic meaning has been changed from being an atomic bomb metaphor to more of an environmental metaphor. Godzilla and most of the other titans are from ancient times, when Earth was much more radioactive, hence why nukes and their radiation don't kill them. But now it's portrayed more so that it's man's destruction of the planet that's waking them up, not creating them. Nuclear testing woke up Godzilla, strip mining is what disturbed the MUTO, and while these are native to Earth, unlike Ghidorah who's an alien, they're still not really from the Earth that we know. They're a relic from a pre-human time. So how can we expect Godzilla to be the champion of humanity when he isn't even from a time that humans existed in? He doesn't even fit into the Earth's natural environment anymore. He has to keep returning to the ocean floors where there's more radiation for him to soak up. Clearly he shouldn't even be here. He doesn't belong here anymore. He's clearly out of sync with the planet's current cycles, and he's out of sync with the existence of humans. Kong, on the other hand, is not only from this Earth, he's from our time. His kind has existed on Skull Island since Godzilla's time, and has learned to coexist with humans quite nicely. unlike Godzilla, who's been asleep for the last million years or so. Kong doesn't need radiation or nuclear explosions to keep him going. He's all natural, homegrown, he's our boy. And he certainly seems to have much more of a friendly relationship with humans. While Godzilla tends to view us more like we view insects, Kong seems to view us kind of the same way as we view pets. There's a bit more warmth there. Kong deserves to be our champion because he already is our champion. He's been defending humans on Skull Island for as long as humans have existed. Godzilla just woke up 5 minutes ago, and now that guy's supposed to be our savior? We just met this guy. Kong is the dude who has always been there for us. He's the one we could always count on, and he's the one who has always protected us before, at least on Skull Island. But it looks like he's going to be venturing off Skull Island more, so it should still apply. One of the reasons why people find the character of Superman not as interesting as Batman is because Superman has so many powers and abilities that he didn't really have to struggle to learn. He was just born with them. Just on merit of those abilities, he's already a superhero. While Batman is just a regular guy with no superpowers. Everything he got through sheer determination and intelligence. Well, apart from all his money, but he still had to work really hard on everything else. He became a superhero despite having no superpowers. That makes what he does kind of more impressive than what Superman does. Kong is a little bit like that. He doesn't have the armored scales or the claws or the atomic breath or any of that fancy stuff, but he still gets the job done. He has to work twice as hard as Godzilla does to defeat his opponents because he doesn't have any of those natural advantages that Godzilla has, but Kong is still king regardless. It's just more of an impressive feat. That's why Superman beating Batman is not a particularly memorable event, even though it did happen multiple times in the comics. But that one time where Batman beat Superman, well, that's the one that everybody talks about because it's an impressive feat. And that's why Kong should beat Godzilla. It's much more of an event than just Godzilla winning again like he always does. But that being said, I'm sure the filmmakers will probably chicken out and make it so that there's no clear winner, like what happened in the original, or they'll maybe make them fight briefly but then have to team up to fight a third monster or something like that, which is totally lame. I want to see just the two of them fight, no outside interference, and I want them to have a clear winner. And Kong beating Godzilla definitively, not killing him of course, but just a definitive win from Kong over Godzilla. Oh boy, that would be a fight to remember. I also kind of want to see that a lot because I've noticed that Godzilla fans get very, very, very angry when he suggests that Godzilla isn't the greatest thing of all time. And I kind of like stirring those guys up because I'm a bit of a jerk, hence this video. So let me know what you think in the comment section below about the upcoming Godzilla vs. Kong movie. I am Bandit, this is Bandit Incorporated. Until next time, I will see you guys in the comments.